and welcome. You're watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. The entire country is looking for justice for Sushant Singh Rajput. But at this point, there seems to be a nagging sense that this case has become more political than about human tragedy. This after repeated demands for a CBI probe were first ignored by the Maharashtra government, and now the Mumbai Police is being accused of not cooperating, in fact almost thwarting the probe that the Bihar Police has undertaken on the complaint of Sushant's family. Now remember, Sushant's father expressed dissatisfaction with the line of investigation that the Mumbai Police has taken so far. Since then, even political parties and family friends have jumped in to ask whether a complete, transparent and fair investigation is being resisted by the Agadi government to shelter someone.
बिहार के अंदर जो एफआईआर दर्ज किया गया, बिहार पुलिस मुंबई गई, लेकिन जो मुंबई पुलिस है वो किसी प्रकार का कोई सहयोग नहीं कर रही है, नॉन कोऑपरेशन कर रही है। मुझे लगता है कि ऐसी स्थिति में अगर सीबीआई जांच हो जाए तो बेहतर होगा।
मुंबई पुलिस सही दिशा में ये सबका डिटेक्शन कर रही है और हमें विश्वास है कि मुंबई पुलिस निश्चित रूप से सही डिटेक्शन और इस मामले की पूरी जांच अच्छी तरह से हो जाए। हम सक्षम है, महाराष्ट्र पुलिस ये पूरा डिटेक्शन करने में कोई कसुराई नहीं करेगी और सीबीआई की देने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं।
महाराष्ट्र सरकार की भूमिका इसमें बहुत संदिग्ध है। महाराष्ट्र पुलिस बहुत बड़ी पुलिस मानी जाती है देश की, लेकिन इस केस में जिस प्रकार का रवैया उनका रहा है, अब एक सुशांत सिंह राजपूत के अकाउंट से 15 करोड़ रुपया विद इन अ ईयर निकल जाता है। किसको गया, कहाँ गया, 43 दिन में महाराष्ट्र पुलिस के संज्ञान में नहीं आया। इट मीन्स कि उनकी जो जांच है वो इनमें थी नहीं।
मुंबई के पुलिस उसमें इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हैं और मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन जल्द से जल्द पूरा हो जाएगा। इसके बारे में जो बाहर चर्चा हो रही है, उनके प्राइवेट निजी जिंदगी के बारे में चर्चा हो रही है, वो जरूरी नहीं है।
In its defense, though, the Mumbai Police is claiming that Sushant's father had earlier given them a 2-page written and signed statement where he made no allegations of foul play against anyone, including Riya Chakravarti. Sources have also told us from within the Mumbai Police that they tried to record the statement of Sushant's sister Neetu thrice, but found her to be non-cooperative. And finally, in reply to charges that money could have been at the root of the entire alleged conspiracy, police sources in Mumbai say that Sushant did have large expenses, including a Lonavala farmhouse for which he paid 5 lakh rupees rent every month. In fact, his total monthly expenses totaled up to about 20 lakh rupees. This despite the fact that he did not have any big movies after 2018. So is this entire investigation now falling between two governments, two ideas of politics and two egos? In fact, Times Now is now breaking details of how allegations of blocking the Bihar Police probe are there against the Mumbai Police, and it's borne out by these examples. Times Now has accessed inside details, 5 ways in which the Bihar Police team was blocked in Mumbai. 1, they were not given cars for their investigation as they went about the city. 2nd, the Bihar Police team asked for evidence to be shared. They said, give us forensic details from the Sushant Singh Rajput investigation done so far. Give us details of Sushant's post-mortem report. Apparently, none of that was given to them. In fact, the Mumbai Police told them, if you want any details, give it to us in written. So much so that when bank account details were sought, even that was not shared with the Bihar Police, which is why they had to go from one bank branch to another doing this investigation on their own. So what really is the reason for this reluctance, or is this a probe being blocked? Let me go straight across, in fact now, to Shekhar Suman, actor, joining us live along with President of the Bhamla Foundation, Asif Bhamla, both of whom today in fact went and met with the Maharashtra government. Shekhar Suman, I want to first start by asking you, why did you meet the governor of Maharashtra when simultaneously you've got 2 investigations already happening?
Because things are not happening. We have waited long enough and we have been incessantly asking for a CBI probe. We waited long enough. It's been 45 days and I think that we need to kind of up our movement by involving the higher ups, people who matter, whose voices would matter, and that's why this is the first step towards that. Because sitting at home, we were all shouting, hollering, calling for it. I was getting exhausted, and it was like going nowhere. As you just said, that this case has become so convoluted now. This is almost like a labyrinth now, it's a maze, which is now difficult to solve. There are layers within layers, there are wheels within wheels, and it's so confusing for a common person.
Tell me
like the
openly,
last that I've heard.
What are these wheels you suspect? Because everyone keeps talking in code. People say, oh, some powerful people are being protected. Who's being protected? What do you suspect?
I don't have names on my mind, but obviously there are people, and they would have a name to them, and they would be faces once they are exposed. But last what I heard was his friend Smita, who is saying that 5 days before his death, he confided in her that I am feeling that my life is threatened and somebody is going to kill me. That's what he said. So who are these people? Why was he talking about? Who was he threatened by? Who was threatening him? The financial trails and the financial fraudulence on one side, and the ego tussle between Bihar Police and the Mumbai Police, all of that I can understand, but who was threatening? Sushant, also, why is the CC footage missing? That is the biggest clue. That's the prima facie evidence that is missing that would lead to all the trails. Somebody has very conveniently obliterated that, and nobody's asking no questions. Isn't it strange? Isn't it strange? I mean, to begin with, right in the beginning, when everybody said that, the door was like, they got a locksmith to open the door. Where the hell did they find a locksmith during COVID-19? Within 20 minutes, who came, and he had the expertise and the acumen to open a goddamn electronic door, which they struggle to open a normal door, a normal lock. He had the acumen to open, he had the expertise to open an electronic door.
Okay.
So all these things right in the beginning looked very suspicious.
Okay, so Asif Bhamla, the insinuation here seems to be this is not just about a couple. It is not even about the families. It's much bigger. Is that what you're saying? It goes beyond just Riya and Sushant, their families. There are bigger powers involved, Asif Bhamla?
Let me first open up with thanking and congratulating my friend Shekhar. He has been working on this entire thing from day one. It's 47 days. He has relentlessly been tweeting, and he's created a whole lot of group which has got now thousands and thousands of people who've joined this Save Sushant movement. So Shekhar, thank you firstly. And today when we met the governor, he also was equally concerned, and I guess he has forwarded a personalized note to the Honorable Chief Minister of Maharashtra after a very detailed meeting with which we had with the governor. Having said that, investigation is unbiased as of now, is what people feel, because it's 47 days and any facts that need to be tampered could be easily done, is the fear which all the fans and followers of Sushant Singh Rajput do have as of date. This is what I have come across. I mean, I was not very much involved in the earlier stages till I spoke to Shekhar ji, and then again.
What did the governor tell you? Did he give you any reassurance?
We also came across a lot of... No, the governor has obviously, because we have an elected government here, so he would obviously refer to the Honorable Chief Minister, which he has done. But now this, what I want to put across is that it's an unnatural death. It's not a suicide. It's something which has been concluded, because there are various things. Now the father of Sushant Singh Rajput, who would be trusted the most, he is coming across with a statement that Riya Chakravarti has embezzled funds of worth 15 crores. So, okay. I mean, I don't know, Shekhar may not be saying this, but I'm going to be very vocal about it, because the most hurted person would be the father of the deceased. And if he claimed that 15 crores has been embezzled, and there are sufficient proofs, Riya has embezzled those funds. There were 8 transactions happened. The incident took place on the 14th day of the month, and on the 10th day of the month, there have been 8 transactions in crores and lakhs that has happened.
How do you know
after
this?
The other. So there's more to the eye for the entire incident.
How do you know this, Mr. Bhamla, about the 18 transactions?
Proof. I mean, there is proof. There is proof. I was just going through the revelations on Z television by a reporter there who has got concrete bank proofs, and the Bihar police that has come here to the city has investigated this. I am not here to pinpoint whether Mumbai police is good or Bihar police is good. My thing is that there should be a fair investigation, because the servant statements change. Sometimes he says there was a party held. The other day he says there was no party held. So it's a very topsy-turvy situation, and I think the nation wants to see justice. It's the millennials, the youngsters who are big fans of Sushant Singh Rajput, who want this issue to be addressed. It is great and thankful that people like Shekhar Suman came forward and took up the hand. Otherwise, I think this would have, he walked all the way to, he went to Patna all the way. He ensured that the state government, then I think all the governments there, be the state government.
That
now
let me fight between Bihar versus Maharashtra, and it's become about egos.
No, let me give me 10 seconds. It is the state government. It is even the Congress in Bihar who claims that there should be a CBI investigation. In the state, if you see, obviously the BJP wants the CBI investigation. I even saw my friend Parth Pawar leading a delegation to the Honorable Home Minister Anil Deshmukh. So if so it's an open thing that when even the people in the ruling party, families of the ruling party, if they have no issues on having an investigation happen, so I don't see why a free and a fair investigation till date has not happened. That's all.
Is the hesitation then, Shekhar Suman, because now it's become about an NDA government in Bihar versus an Aghadi government in Maharashtra? Egos.
Unfortunately, this boiled down to an ego syndrome, and I think it's the ego tussle, which is so unfortunate, because, you know, a human tragedy is far more important than these people and their ideologies and their stances that they are taking. It makes no sense to the common man who's just asking for a CBI inquiry. Also, I think if the Mumbai police is competent, which let's believe that they are, then, and they so categorically have said and believe unequivocally that it's a suicide, then why haven't they shut the case?
Interesting.
Why are they still interrogating people? Why? Tell me. Give me the reason why. If you think it's a suicide, shut the case and finish the matter. Then we'll see what needs to be done. We can probably ask you to reopen the case, ask for its hearing. Why aren't you shutting the case? Why are you going on? Why are you procrastinating? Why are you delaying it? To remove, probably, you know, people think to remove all the... What is it? And then when you are obstructing and thwarting them, you are pushing them in an auto rickshaw to move around. I mean, how pathetic is that?
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be, like, you know, a sense of camaraderie that somebody has come to help you out. Is the police, after all, whether the police is from Bihar or Maharashtra or from anywhere else, how does that matter? I think, you know, we should rise above all these things. There are far too many layers, as I'm saying, far too many stories being churned out, plots and subplots. It's getting more confusing by the moment, and before it gets completely out of hands, I think, you know, it should be just handed over to the CBI, plain and simple.
All right. Thank you very much, Shekhar Suman and Asif Bhamla, for having joined me. And the questions that you have raised, very, very pertinent questions, exactly what I'm going to take across to the government representatives on our panel.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
And joining us in the debate, we have Amit Satam, MLA of the BJP, Sarthak Nayak, lawyer, joining us live from Delhi, Rajiv Ranjan, spokesperson of the JDU, Sanjay Gupta, political analyst, Dr. Suman C. Raman, political analyst, and IPS officer, PK Jain. I'll start by asking you, Sanjay Gupta ji, कि आखिर क्यों बिहार पुलिस अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है तो उसको इस तरीके से प्रताड़ित किया जा रहा है? ये तो प्रताड़ना ही हुई ना कि पुलिस की टीम है, वहां बारिश हो रही है, ऑटो रिक्शा में घूम रही है. What is the possible justification?
नहीं, देखिए ऐसा है कि मुंबई पुलिस एक केस की जांच कर रही है. अभी 40 दिन से 40 आदमियों की स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड की गई है और मुंबई पुलिस किसी फाइनल डिसीजन पर अभी तक नहीं पहुंची है. जब एक पुलिस टीम इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है, उसी के बीच में उसके ऊपर कई तरह के सवाल उठाना, उसके ऊपर आरोप लगाना, बिना किसी तथ्यों के महाराष्ट्र सरकार को कटघरे में खड़ा करना, खुद अनिल देशमुख साहब उस केस को देख रहे हैं,
पर सर,
उद्धव साहब ने भी अपनी
सवाल
स्टेटमेंट दी है कि
तो
किसी भी
उठा
दोषी
रही
को
है
छोड़ा नहीं
family।
जाएगा।
और
तो
अनिल देशमुख साहब ने तो पहले ही बोल दिया कि सुसाइड है, जब आप खुद कह रहे हैं 40 दिनों से ज्यादा इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो रहा है और अभी भी चल रहा है। तो अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है, आपने क्यों सुसाइड बोल दिया?
नहीं, अनिल देशमुख साहब ने ये नहीं कहा।
इन्वेस्टिगेशन क्यों चल रहा है?
सुनिए, देखिए पुलिस ने नहीं देखिए, ये दो बातें हैं। पहला ये कि पुलिस ने जब मौका वारदात पर गई तो पुलिस ने ये कहा कि ऐसा लगता है देखने से, मगर देखने से लगने से फाइनल नहीं होता। पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट के बाद ही ये फाइनल होता है कि ये सुसाइड है नहीं है। पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट है कि उन्होंने सुसाइड किया है।
होम मिनिस्टर
अच्छा, फिर
ने
दूसरी
बोला
बात
था
आती
कि
है
सुसाइड
कि केस को
अमित साटम, इनफैक्ट इवन
उन्होंने ट्वीट
टुडे
किया था।
वी हैव
उन्होंने
गॉट
ट्वीट किया
मेंबर्स
था।
ऑफ द अगाड़ी
तो पुलिस-
सेइंग दिस इज सुसाइड, स्टॉप टॉकिंग अबाउट इट। कोई जरूरत नहीं है प्रोब की।
नहीं, ऐसा लगता है पुलिस ने बोला था ऐसा लगता है देखने से, लेकिन पोस्टमार्टम की जो रिपोर्ट है, पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट में
लगती
इस बात की पुष्टि की गई।
मैं गृह मंत्री हूं, मैं ये नहीं बोलूंगी मुझे क्या लगता है, मैं वो बोलूंगी जो कि मुझे पुलिस बताएगी। आप अपनी पर्सनल भावनाओं को थोड़ी ना व्यक्त
जो
करेंगे।
पुलिस ने बताया और जो मेडिकल रिपोर्ट आई, जो पुलिस ने बताया और जो पोस्टमार्टम की रिपोर्ट आई, उसके बाद ये बात आई कि हाँ जी सुसाइड है, और बात आती है सीबीआई को केस देने की।
अरे सर, सीबीआई तो बहुत दूर की बात है।
पुलिस के
तो आप ये बताइए
अधिकारी थोड़े से तजुर्बेकार होते हैं, बहुत से केसेस को देखते हैं।
बिहार पुलिस को इस तरीके से ब्लॉक करना क्या सही है? अगर बिहार पुलिस कहे कि भाई हमें बैंक डिटेल्स दे दीजिए,
ताल्लुक क्या? आप मुझे एक बात बताइए।
अभी बिहार पुलिस कह रही है कि पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट दे दीजिए, हम पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट नहीं देंगे। बिहार पुलिस कह रही है गाड़ी तो दे दो भाई,
40 दिन से क्या सोए थे?
नहीं, तो जब एक पुलिस जब मुंबई पुलिस इस बात की इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है, और अभी एक मिनट चुप रहिए आप, जब पहले बात खत्म होने दीजिए आप। अभी जब मुंबई पुलिस अपनी इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रही है,
रजिस्टर किया है,
करने के दौरान वो अपनी किसी भी जांच को किसी के साथ कैसे शेयर कर देगी? फाइनल रिपोर्ट पे आने से पहले वो अपने दस्तावेज किसी को कैसे दे देगी? जब तक मुंबई पुलिस किसी फाइनल
कि मैं किसी के साथ शेयर नहीं करूंगा। अगर इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रहा है और डिटेल्स मांगे जा रहे हैं तो क्यों नहीं देंगे? सार्थक नायक
नहीं दी जा सकती जब तक कि मुंबई पुलिस अपनी।
आई थिंक महाराष्ट्र होम मिनिस्टर डजंट डिजर्व टू। आप चुप रहिए, एक मिनट सुनिए, एक मिनट सुनिए, चुप रहिए।
और ये जिस तरह से
एक मिनट चुप रहिए। महाराष्ट्र प्लीज आस्क हिम टू कीप क्वाइट। You please ask him to keep quiet. Why shouting? Maharashtra Home Minister doesn't deserve to be a peon in the Supreme Court also. Any person having a common sense, any person having common sense will never tweet. Who has given him the right to transgress the privacy of Sushant Singh Rajput?
Sir, please don't derail the discussion with this tutu meme. Go on, Sarthak Nayak, make your point.
Please. There is a theory in law, nemo judex in causa sua. Nobody can be a judge in his own case. Maharashtra police here is a probable accused. Their conduct is reflective of only three things. Either they are trying to save somebody, or they are a part of the crime, or there is a larger pressure. Therefore, the question is not about investigating how Sushant Singh Rajput died. The question is about investigating the conduct of Maharashtra police also. A person has died. Who has given him the right to tweet that he was mentally depressed and he committed suicide? Don't you think it is interference with the investigation? Look at their conduct. In February, when somebody went and said that Sushant Singh Rajput may commit suicide, they kept quiet. Unfortunately, he committed suicide. On the same day, they filed an ADR under 174 CRPC. The house was not sealed. The dog was roaming around the house. They have completely tarnished the evidence. If there is any case, 40 days you have called 40 people, no FIR, no charge sheet, no 164 statement. Who has given you the right to blot the investigation? And let me tell you, Bihar police may be doing a good job. But if you go,
and now an attempt to block the probe.
Absolutely.
Influencing.
Absolutely. But who is trying to do that? That person needs to be investigated.
Padmaja, this is no longer.
Let me tell you. Let me complete one more. I'll take just 15 seconds. I'll take just 15 seconds. Padmaja, I'll just take 15 seconds. Bihar police is doing a good job. But if time and again they try to block it and not cooperate, then the only remedy which is available is CBI inquiry. Quickly, I would like to give you a point. The matter is pending. A letter has been written to Bombay High Court. If Supreme Court has dismissed, the doctrine of res judicata is not applicable as far as the case of dismissal in limine is concerned. Therefore, the High Court has the power. The High Court is not going to ask Uddhav Thackeray. The High Court, if there is a question of substantive justice, the concept of locus is alien, High Court can pass an order. But if they don't cooperate, we still have an alternative remedy, and sooner or later we are going to get justice.
Okay, interesting. And in fact, legal experts have told us that the Bihar government is also within its rights to ask for a CBI probe. But the question arises now, Sushant Singh Rajput, about the role of the Maharashtra government and of the Mumbai Police. First you stonewalled, then you tried to influence, says Sarthak Nayak, and now you're blocking the Bihar Police probe.
This is no longer about Sushant Singh Rajput. This has become a political issue where the attempt is to, tarnish the Maharashtra government and the Agadi government to the extent possible.
How?
So No.
Are you suggesting that Amit Satam went and killed Sushant Singh Rajput in order to tarnish the Maharashtra government?
No. So far, has anybody given a name of a person whom the Maharashtra government is purportedly or allegedly protecting? So far, nobody has spoken out. Just nudge, wink, innuendo. You know what? He must be a son of a powerful
Amit
politician.
Satam. Okay, so nudge, wink. Interesting. Nudge, wink. And defaming the Maharashtra government. Amit Satam. Important point, let him answer it.
Yeah, this story does not start with the suicide or the supposed suicide of Sushant Singh Rajput. This story starts from February. A very close relative of Sushant Singh Rajput had called a very senior IPS officer based in Mumbai that Sushant Singh Rajput is under some kind of stress and in trouble and that he needs some help. That time, this particular request was ignored by the Mumbai Police. After Sushant Singh Rajput's supposed suicide, there are various theories that are coming up as to where is.
But Amit Satam, what Sushant Singh Rajput is saying, why are you so interested? Let the family fight it. Let lawyers like Sarthak fight it. Why is the BJP getting into it?
There is a huge public demand to hand over this particular case to the CBI because the Mumbai Police is not investigating in a fair manner, A. B, the Mumbai Police is seen to be protecting some people.
Sushant Singh Rajput.
C, there is some kind of a Bollywood mafia that is existing which some politicians are trying to protect. So who are those politicians?
So BJP is the voice of the people in this case, Sushant Singh Rajput. If there was a cover-up happening, if there is a cover-up happening, who will take up cudgels on behalf of the family?
Look, it's very simple. What they are basically saying is they are protecting somebody. Who are they protecting? We don't know. What is the motive for them to protect? We don't know. But they are protecting somebody. Now, how this makes any sense, I don't know.
That is what is to be investigated.
If you are protecting...
Sir, 1 second. That has got to be investigated. There has got to be some prima facie evidence. The postmortem report has come out. What does the postmortem report say? What does the toxicology report? Now you're saying postmortem must have been fixed. Toxicology report must have been.
Let me just ask you this, Amit Satam. If you are so certain, since you've come with the certainty that there is a cover-up, why don't you just put your money where your mouth is and sit here on national TV as an MLA and say, I suspect this is the person being protected, and investigate him.
There are two theories which are going on. One is the theory of a Bollywood mafia. Second is the theory of a relationship. Both angles have to be investigated. And
sir, these are generic statements, sir.
Mumbai Police is trying to
कुछ प्रूव भी तो कीजिए हवा में बातें करेंगे आप हवा में कुछ भी बोलेंगे आप
सुशांत सिंह राजपूत
15 करोड़ रुपए जो बात आती है उनके सीए कहते हैं उनके अकाउंट में 15 करोड़ रुपए थे ही नहीं
तो वो इन्वेस्टिगेट करो ना थे कि नहीं थे आप इतने डर क्यों रहे हो इन्वेस्टिगेशन से व्हाई आर यू रनिंग अवे फ्रॉम द इन्वेस्टिगेशन
उनका सीए कह तो रहा है कि अपने अकाउंट में कोई 15 करोड़ रुपए नहीं थे
इन्वेस्टिगेटिंग
आपके बीजेपी के मनोज तिवारी जी कह रहे हैं 15 करोड़ रुपए कहां गए
सिंह राजपूत
आप मनोज तिवारी बीजेपी के कह रहे हैं कि 15 करोड़ रुपए कहां गए
अकेले नहीं कह रहे हैं उनके फादर कह रहे हैं उनके फादर ने लिखित कंप्लेंट में बिहार पुलिस को दिया है बोल करके कि 17 करोड़ थे अकाउंट में 15 करोड़ उसमें से किधर गए किस अकाउंट में गए किसी को पता नहीं है मनोज तिवारी वो बोल रहे हैं जो उनके फादर बोल रहे हैं बट लेट मी आस्क यू दिस पीके जैन एज अ रिटायर्ड आईपीएस ऑफिसर योरसेल्फ इज इट यूजुअल दैट you've got a police team coming from Bihar in Mumbai and they tell the Mumbai police please share with us the postmortem report and the Mumbai police says, sorry, we will not give it to you. Is this not impeding the investigation?
See, it is the prerogative of the Mumbai Police to clear element or otherwise with any other agency or with any other person. If Bihar Police makes a written request, Mumbai Police may oblige, may not oblige. There nothing like a written protocol on that. One thing. Second is, I would like to state 2-3 things. See, this case is either a case of
But sir,
murder
tell
or
me,
a
why wouldn't you oblige? If you have the facts and if another team asks for the facts, why wouldn't you oblige?
See, they are already investigating the case. These are all papers of investigation. Whether the investigating officer would like to part with the papers of investigation or not is his own discretion. Number 2, if the Bihar Police wants a copy of the postmortem report, they have already registered a case and they have come along with the team. They can always summon the same postmortem report from the Cooper Hospital, from the hospital from where the report has emanated. So there are ways and means of getting a report. And the third thing is, in any case, the matter has now gone to the Supreme Court, whether the case should be investigated by Mumbai Police or by Bihar Police. Riya Chakrabarti has requested that the case should be transferred to Mumbai Police. Bihar government has already put in their a very senior advocate there.
Yes.
So the case is already on 5th of August is the hearing. So everything will be clear, hopefully on the 5th of August, as to who is going to conduct the investigation in the matter. To my mind, what Bihar Police should have done is that they should have registered the case under 0 number and sent the papers or the complaint to Mumbai Police so that the parallel investigation or investigation together into all the allegations made by Sushant's father would have been made. Now, what has happened is in the last 43 days, whatever Mumbai Police has been doing without any allegations being made by either Sushant's father or any of the family members. The people are all going by emotions, by presumptions, surmises that this is what Mumbai Police has done, this is what they have not done. We are not even aware as to what Mumbai Police has done.
The family should have come forward earlier with the details that they are giving now. And in absence of that, this probe was directionless.
At least, even if a basic complaint would have been made, an offence would have been registered. Let me tell you that in the case of Lalita Kumari versus Government of UP, Supreme Court has very categorically said that if a complaint about a cognizable offence is made to the police is bound to register a case.
Sarthak Naik, if the family had something to say, they should have said it earlier. Earlier, they didn't mention Riya. They didn't mention any financial details last 40 days.
No. Listen, that is not family's duty. That is the duty of the investigating officer. What made you conclude in the first day itself that it is a accidental death? Who has given you the authority to tweet? You first have to investigate why the Home Minister and the person concerned tweeted on the first day that it was suicide. You should have investigated the matter. 40 days. You mean to say that? Please. You mean to say that 40 days, 40 people you have interrogated, no prima facie case is made out? This is not a case of registration of FIR. You are saying that zero FIR must be
otherwise the case would have been registered, my dear sir.
Same cause of action, zero FIR. Why can't be FIR in Bombay?
If anything would have been
registered in Bombay,
Mr. Nayak, if anything would have been revealed, an FIR would have been registered. Nothing has been revealed. That's why no FIR.
Okay. Let PK Jain respond.
Then why zero FIR? Then why you are telling zero FIR in Bihar? Zero FIR in Bihar, no FIR in Bombay.
Let me speak it out, sir. Let me say it out. Did Sushant's father make any complaint to Mumbai Police? They did not. They only made a complaint to Bihar Police after 43 days, in which case an FIR was registered. Had the same complaint been made to Mumbai Police, an offence would have been registered. You are only presuming that Mumbai Police would not have registered a case.
Amit Atam disagrees.
The matter is that Sushant's father was not given the support and the cooperation to speak his mind in front of Mumbai Police.
Has he ever lost the complaint?
Why did Sushant's father had to go to Bihar Police? He had to go to Bihar Police because he did not get the support and cooperation from Mumbai Police, which is why he had to go back to his hometown,
because he felt he would not
all the details, facts and figures, whatever he had to Bihar Police and register and FIR there.
Okay, so you're saying that he was disillusioned by not getting any cooperation so far, so he had to go to Bihar Police. But today Rajiv Ranjan ji, Sanjay Gupta आपसे ये बोलेंगे कि इतने क्राइम्स होते हैं मुंबई में उन लोगों पर जो कि बिहार से आते हैं, तब तो आपकी सरकार को कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ा। आज अचानक आप इसको एक बिहारी प्राइड का मुद्दा बना करके कूद पड़े। एक ह्यूमन ट्रेजेडी को आप राजनीति का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं। राजीव जी,
राजनीति का इस्तेमाल तो बीजेपी के लोग कर रहे हैं, वो
अरे एक सेकंड संजय गुप्ता जी, क्या आपका नाम राजीव रंजन है? उनको बोलने दीजिए ना, आप इतना बोल चुके हैं। राजीव रंजन बोलिए।
देखिए, सार्थक नाम तो बिहार के नहीं है,
आपने दोनों का नाम लिया था।
मुझे लगता है आप क्या संजय गुप्ता जी, आप थोड़ी शिष्टाचार को समझिए, आप थोड़ी देर चुप रहिए।
बोलिए राजीव रंजन जी बोलिए।
एक बात बिल्कुल साफ है, ये बिहारी प्राइड से ज्यादा एक छोटे शहर से मुंबई की माया नगरी में अपनी उपस्थिति दर्ज कराने वाले नौजवान की दर्दनाक मौत की कहानी है। और मुंबई में डायनेस्टी और नेपोटिज्म को लेकर के जो पहले से सवाल खड़े हुए हैं, और जिस तरह से कई ऐसी मौतें हैं जो मुंबई पुलिस की साख पर पहले भी सवाल खड़े कर चुके हैं।
हाँ।
गुलशन कुमार से लेकर के दिव्या भारती, ऐसी कई मौतें हुई हैं।
पर सर इसी में आप क्यों कूद पड़े हैं? ये सवाल आपसे पूछा जा रहा है।
हम इसलिए कूद पड़े हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं देश के कई हिस्सों में लोगों को ये लगा, कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी में हो या किसी दूसरे प्रोफेशन में हो, लोगों को ये लगा कि सुशांत सिंह राजपूत के मौत के मामले में कुछ न कुछ पर्दा है, कुछ डालने की कोशिश की जा रही है जिससे गुनाहगारों तक लोग नहीं पहुंच सके। जिस जल्दबाजी में मुंबई पुलिस ने इस पूरे प्रकरण पर आत्महत्या का टप्पा लगा दिया।
क्योंकि संजय गुप्ता, यहाँ पर डर ये था कि राजनीतिक संरक्षण से बचाया जा रहा है, तो उधर से भी राजनीतिक मदद और एक पुश की जरूरत थी, क्योंकि एक अकेली फैमिली सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की किसी राजनीतिक पार्टी से नहीं लड़ सकती।
किसी को नहीं बचाया जा रहा राजनीतिक संरक्षण से।
अरे यही तो राजीव रंजन कह रहे हैं कि जब आप गृह मंत्री महाराष्ट्र के कहते हैं कि ये सुसाइड है, तो ऐसा लगता है कि बचाया जा रहा है, इसीलिए उनको कूदना पड़ा, बिकॉज ये बैकिंग चाहिए थी फैमिली को, और फैमिली ने मदद
रिपोर्ट के आधार पर पुलिस के देखने के बाद पर तभी तो कह रही है। लेकिन इसके वो कह देने से कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन रोक दिया क्या लोग जिनके शक फैमिली ने बताए हैं,
नहीं होता तो शायद
शक है, उन सबके उनके खिलाफ।
बात पूरी कर लेने दीजिए।
हाँ बोलिए राजीव रंजन।
ऐसा कैसे रुका था? इन्वेस्टिगेशन तो पुलिस की होती है, ऐसा थोड़ी है।
सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि बिहार में 0 FIR हुआ।
पुलिस की
सुप्रीम कोर्ट को फैसला लेना है जुरिडिक्शन तय करने के लिए, लेकिन आप पद्मजा जी, गैस लाइटिंग एक बहुत ही पॉपुलर टर्म है और साइको एनालिसिस में उसका इस्तेमाल होता है। उनके फादर के FIR से पूरी तरह से ये 1944 की फिल्म बनी हुई का पूरी तरह से, एक तरह से आप कहें तो रीमेक दिखता है। और जो परिस्थितियां हुई हैं, मुंबई पुलिस की पीठ थपथपाने वाले लोग आज एक बड़े अपराध पर पर्दा डालने का काम कर रहे हैं। इस देश के फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर में अगर किसी एक स्टेट में जहां घटना हुई वहां न्याय नहीं मिला, और उसके होम स्टेट में अगर कोई FIR हुआ, तो मुंबई पुलिस को सहयोग करना चाहिए।
इंटरेस्टिंग सुमन सिंह रमन, दैट द फादर सेड ही वाज बीइंग गैस लाइटेड।
के बाद केस अदालत में जाएगा।
सुमन सिंह रमन,
it is very clear that neither side is really bothered about the loss of such a young life in such tragic circumstances. Both sides are apparently out to try and play political football with the death and try to capitalize. Bihar is facing an election in a few months, so maybe they see some political
capital. Are you saying Sushant Singh Rajput is going to win them the Bihar elections?
It's not that. It's not that. You tell me. You asked the question. How many Bihari people from Bihar
are going to win? Because
Bihar police,
somebody is investigating Sushant Singh Rajput's
death. Bihar government. Look, the IPS officer on this panel put it very nicely. He said, logically, what
no, let Rajiv Ranjan answer that, because you're saying had the elections not been there, maybe this wouldn't have been priority. Rajiv Ranjan.
ये कैसी बात कर रहे हैं आप? सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की मौत को लेकर मुंबई पुलिस की पीठ आप थपथपा सकते हैं, लेकिन उस मौत को हम उस मौत पर सवाल नहीं खड़े कर सकते। मुंबई पुलिस की भूमिका पर हम सवाल अगर खड़े करेंगे तो आप चुनाव से जोड़ेंगे। आप कितना आपका अप्रोच है, ये खतरनाक रवैया है।
वेरी क्लियरली
नहीं, बिहार अभी मुंबई पुलिस ने अभी फाइनल रिपोर्ट दिया कोई क्या? अभी मुंबई पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है। अभी मुंबई पुलिस ने अभी फाइनल रिपोर्ट ना दिया। बातें तो लोग पता नहीं क्या क्या करते हैं, या किसी भी तरह की आती है, लेकिन जो बात होती है वो फाइनल मानी जाती है।
और दूसरी बात, ईडी ने कार्रवाई शुरू की है। दूसरी कार्रवाई ईडी ने शुरू की है। महाराष्ट्र पुलिस ने तो अभी कुछ किया ही नहीं।
I don't know who Mumbai Police is trying to protect, but they must be.
आप केंद्र सरकार,
because you know at the end of the day, people will will
करना चाहते हैं
ask,
बीजेपी
would, you know, for everyone who's saying there's a political motive, Amit Satam, that would the Bihar government and the Bihar police have got involved at all had the parents been heard or the family been heard in February this year by the Mumbai police?
Correct.
That really is the genesis of the problem, Suman Raman.
Yes.
And I'll ask that final question to PK Jain. This entire controversy wouldn't have started, it wouldn't have become a duel between two states and two police forces had the Mumbai police not been found wanting.
His father
Mr. Jain.
had the option of coming out in front of the media.
Kindly ask him to keep quiet. Let me speak.
Not taking his complaint.
Suman Raman,
Please
you
ask him
say
to keep
father
quiet.
had the option. Father says, I did come in February, but I was not heard. Let Mr. Jain have the final legal word. Yes, go on. Mr. Jain.
See, number one, the complaint which was allegedly made in the month of February has not been made public. It is only being spoken about by Mr. Vikas Singh, who is the advocate of the father of Sushant's father.
Okay.
Now, this application, if at all it was made, the person was alive at that time. The money had gone out of his own free will. If at all the money was taken against his will, he never lodged a complaint with Mumbai Police. If Ria took away his laptop, his cash and his other credit card, etc., he never lodged a complaint. He opened 2-3 companies along with Ria and her brother. There was no issue on that. So anything which happened, he cut out his father. He did not speak to him. Now father says that Ria was not allowing him to speak to him. These are all things, which were at the time when the person was alive. If he did not have any grouse about it, how can the father have a grouse now? Fine enough. He has a grouse.
Okay.
He should have come to Mumbai Police after he committed or after his unnatural death.
कहीं ना कहीं ढकने की कोशिश की है और उसको एक दूसरे दिशा देने की कोशिश की है।
कोई ढकने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहा। उन्होंने मुंबई पुलिस के पास में कोई कंप्लेंट नहीं किया। उन्होंने मुंबई पुलिस के पास में कोई कंप्लेंट नहीं की। इससे कोई फायदा नहीं है।
Okay, Mr. Jain, you are saying no complaint was ever done. That's what the Mumbai police is also saying. However, the family has quite another version to give. They say we went to complaint. However, we were not heard at that time. However, at the end of the day, it is going to be the Supreme Court, which on the 5th of August, on this Wednesday, is going to decide whether the Bihar police is within its rights to continue with the parallel investigation or whether it should be shifted to the Mumbai police. The CBI probe, though, is going to be another issue altogether. Will that be ordered? Can the Bihar government ask for it? We'll be keeping a close eye. But in the midst of it all, I have to make a sincere appeal. Unfortunately, in the middle of this tragic story, a parallel track is running of our own stereotypes, of our own biases somehow creeping in, cultural, gender biases. Please, let's not use this occasion to try and paint people in a certain way and say that somebody is a gold digger or somebody is a social climber. Remember, it's a human tragedy. It deserves a fair investigation, and that's the only thing we should focus on and keep demanding for Sushant and for his family, and for that matter, even for Ria and her family. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you very much, all gentlemen, for having joined me on debate number 1.